I've decided I'm going to start documenting the rebuild of my 1993 GMC Typhoon. If you're not familiar with what a GMC Typhoon is, basically it's a Chevy Blazer that has been fitted with a 4.3 liter V6, all-wheel drive, and a turbocharger. These things were 0 to 60 kings when they came out. These were only made for 2 model years, 1992 and 1993. This one's a 1993. You can see that by the gold logo on the side. And any sci-tie guy knows that 1993 was the best year for the Typhoon. I've had this one for about 4 years now, and it did not always look like this. I started this teardown about 8 months ago. Now it's taken me a long time, all sorts of factors, but mainly I'm not a mechanic by trade. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it as I go. The reason for this teardown was because ever since I got this thing, I've been chasing knock. I tried all sorts of different things. I threw injectors at it. I threw a big fuel pump at it, E85, all new ignition components, things that I thought were going to try to help with this knock. Ultimately, I couldn't figure it out. It was getting kind of old, and it gave me an excuse to build up to that. Now, this motor here is a 4.3 liter V6 from a Typhoon, actually, except this one has been hopped up. The previous owner had this thing built 12 or 13 years ago, had aspirations to put it in a project, but never did. So this motor is brand new as it was rebuilt. Now, if you look at it from the top and from the outside, it looks pretty standard Typhoon. Even the Typhoons all said Cyclone. Now, where the differences lay up here is that these V6s were not Vortec motors. However, this one has been fitted with Vortec heads, which requires a lot of customization to make these things fit with these lower intake manifolds that the Typhoons came with. Now, as I start to roll this motor over, you can see a lot of the work that's been done. A lot of this stuff has been bored out. I have 120-pound injectors from Holley on here, and then we'll go to the bottom of the motor. At the bottom of the motor, you can see splayed mains. These did not come with splayed mains. They were 2-bolt mains. We also have eagle rods, and if we zoom in on here, we have SRP pistons. Should make for a pretty sturdy bottom end that can take a lot of abuse. Now, like I said previously, I did have some mods on this thing. One of those mods include this Holley HP standalone ECU. To accompany that was a 7-inch Holley digital dash. One of the byproducts of this teardown is to be able to clean a lot of stuff up in here. You can see I've gone through, and guys, this is not professional stuff. If you're here trying to, learn something or take advice, don't take it from me. I've rattle canned a lot of this. I'm just test fitting this heater box. This is going to be coming off before I try to put the motor back in. I've painted this firewall. I've painted the frame. The suspension's all going to get replaced. I have tubular control arms on the way. I replaced all my steering components. These were disgusting. I'll include some pictures in a second so you can see what this engine bay looked like before. Borgeson steering box. This is awesome. I've been playing around with it up on the left here. And it's truly like one turn to lock, which is far better than what it was before. Now, while the cleanup has been going well so far with the paint and the new components in the engine bay that were all nasty before, one of the main things that I wanted to address was the just absolute wiring mess that was in this thing. Now, what you're looking at here is the stock engine harness, or at least what's left of it. There was a shop that installed the standalone ECU, which is a standalone ECU. There's not much that needs to be left behind from the stock harness in order to run this motor. I was hoping that they were going to be cleaning up a lot of this wire, but they did not. They decided to leave the entire stock harness behind, tucked away in the dash. It was awful. My takeaway from that experience was if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. This is everything that I cut out from that harness that was unnecessary. Now you can see here, I have the Holley harness routed through currently just for testing. It's going to be getting pulled back through before the motor goes back in. But just look at this thing. It's a pretty nice harness. It's loomed well, labeled. It looks good. And that Holly harness kind of became the standard for which I wanted my own harnesses to be. So you can see, after cutting everything away, it's all loomed nicely, or at least as nice as I could get it. And everything is generally where, or routed to where it was supposed to be stock. So in theory, everything should be able to reach the components that it was reaching before. Now I'm to the point where I've done most of the cleanup that I want to do, and it's time to get this motor put back in. There's a few things that need to happen before that. Number one, I have no oil pump currently. And because I don't have an oil pump, this absolute unit of an oil pan cannot seal the bottom of the motor yet. Further, because of the splayed mains, the dipstick will have to be bent all sorts of weird ways in order to fit past the cap and through this oil pan. Now the goal here, when it's all said and done, is to have a presentable, relatively reliable truck that makes somewhere in the ballpark of 450 all-wheel horsepower. I worry about this thing though. And this is why. A Precision 6466 with an external gate. It's gonna be wicked. Oh, you want those cam specs, huh? You want those cam specs? How bad do you want it? You gonna pause? You get it at the right spot? Well, I'm gonna be blurring this out. It's gonna be you versus my editing skills. How are we gonna do this? Who's gonna win? I actually already lost because I realized I filmed this entire thing in vertical. So